Cauldwell always knew she was adopted, so at the age of 20, Claire wanted to find her birth mother. She wanted to thank her for choosing life. That's when Claire found out her mom had chosen the opposite.
My name is Claire Cauldwell, and I am an abortion survivor, and that is how I have been affected, which is very rare. I was a twin when I was in the womb, but today I'm still a twin. My twin just isn't here. I am here to be able to be a voice and a face for the unborn. And that is all by God's grace. I will speak in honor of you. At the age of 20, I decided that I was going to make the phone call to my adoption agency and start a search to hopefully meet my birth mother. I received a phone call from her a month later, and I visited. I had a card for her, and on the card, what I wrote was, "Thank you for choosing life for me. That's the greatest gift I've ever received." And as she opened this card, what were very, very happy tears began to turn into very sad tears as well. And she grabbed my hand and she took me into a back room, and she began telling me about her life. What she told me was she grew up in a family where her parents were divorced. She lived with her mother, and her mother worked multiple jobs, which left my birth mother making very adult decisions for herself. As she sought outside for love, for fulfillment, like many of us do, she found herself pregnant at 13 years old. Her mother said that there was only one thing to do. And that day, they got in the car, they drove to an abortion clinic, and my birth mother had a surgical abortion at 5 months along. After having her surgical abortion that day, as she went home to her, I believe, 8th grade life, she was in gym class with her best friend, I believe about 4 weeks later, and her friend said, "Have you been back to the doctor? Things don't seem right. Maybe you should go get yourself checked out and make sure that nothing else is wrong." And so she had her mom take her back to the same abortionist to examine her. And at that moment, she was told the most shocking words she had ever heard in her entire life. "You're still pregnant. Your abortion was successful, but you're still pregnant. You were pregnant with twins. One was aborted, but one has survived, and so you're still mothering a child in your womb." She was told that her amniotic fluid, which is in the sac and which is what holds the baby together and gives the baby nutrients, had been broken. My birth mother delivered a little baby girl 2 weeks later, and that was me. When I was born, I weighed 3 pounds, 2 ounces. My hips were dislocated and my feet were turned in as club feet. I had to stay in the hospital for 2.5 months. I was on life support. When I was released, I had casts on my feet to correct my club feet, and I had a harness on my hips to hopefully put my hips back into place. And through the next couple years, I went through multiple casts, even body casts, to kind of form my body back together, although it sounds like a horror story, and many have said, "Well, aren't you angry?" "Aren't you upset?" And I say no, because my birth mother is probably my biggest hero, because she didn't have to tell me. And through her courage and through her strength and her selflessness, people's lives are being changed. Abortion doesn't just affect one person, it's a domino effect. And even though that happened, it has turned into something so beautiful. God has really taught me to rely on Him, that this is not about me, that it's about Him, it's about His grace, and it's about His amazing gift of life that He has given us. Even though life looks like a given, because we all have it, it's a gift. He is able to speak through my story and through my birth mother's story, through my parents' story, and share that gift with the world.
Claire has an amazing story to tell, doesn't she? And she's absolutely right. It's not really about her. It's not really about you or me. It's about the gift of life from God and the capacity that He wants us to have to live it abundantly, to cherish it, to treasure it, to know how valuable it is. You know, things happen in life, choices are made. A 13-year-old gets pregnant, a mother is already under the pile and doesn't know what to do, says there's only one choice. We need to value life. We need to value life. I cannot tell you how many people I talk to about the issue of life, of abortion, who say, I couldn't place a child for adoption. I just couldn't have a child out there that belonged to me and I wouldn't know where they are. Listen, life is not yours and mine to take. God gives it. There are families willing to take children and to love them. I want to say to you today, if you find yourself in this situation, give the gift of life yourself. Will it cost you something? Yes, but believe me, it will cost you something to end life as well. Jesus said He came that we might have life and have it abundantly. You know what He specializes in? Redemption. Taking what's broken, taking what's lost, taking what's painful, and making something beautiful out of it. If you find yourself pregnant and alone, pregnant in a difficult circumstance, there is help and hope for you. And I mean concrete help and hope for you. There are Christian believers who will come alongside of you, stand with you. Crisis pregnancy centers will help you with what your needs are. You saw that new one being established in Iowa. Don't take the life of your baby. That life is a part of you. Let God redeem your life and give you a fresh beginning and give the gift of life to the child within you. If you'd like to know more about God's Word, what He has to say about life, we've got a little pamphlet we've made for you. It's called You're Not Alone, and that's the message we want you today to know. You're not alone. And if you've made a decision in the past because of circumstances that you felt were too big to know what to do, and you ended life, God can redeem that for you too. Will you call our center? We have people standing by, people who love God, who've committed their lives to Him, who love and care about you. You will find no condemnation, only a friend who would like to pray with you today. Ask God to give you wisdom and guidance, and also forgiveness. If you've walked through this, there is hope and forgiveness and a new beginning for you. Our number's toll free. It's 1-800-759-0700. Well, when we come back, we're going to bring it on with email questions that you've submitted. Debbie says, our pastor just told the congregation that if we don't volunteer with the church, we should get out. Is he wrong? Well, Pat's going to answer that question and more, and that's next. Hi, I'm Terry Mewson. At CBN, we're here to pray for you all year long. But each spring, the entire staff of CBN sets aside a special week of prayer to pray for your needs. We care about you and the things that are happening in your life. No matter how big or small your requests, we want to pray for you. Please mail your prayer request today. It's our privilege to pray for you.